How has it been for you first? Let's just even start from there. The journey, in the acting business. How's it been?
Well, it's been how would I say, it's not been straightforward because I was 7 years old.
Heavy.
Yes, I was 7
I
years
can
old.
remember
Yeah.
that time. I can remember Tobi's face as a child.
was so
What's
small.
film or what set?
Yeah, it was titled Silenced, produced by Ralph Nwadike, directed by Mr. Tunji Bamishigbe. Yes, and
Bamishigbe.
it had all the veterans back in the days: Bob Manuel Udoku,
Wow.
Tony Umes,
Wow.
Femi Brainerd, Funsho Adeolu,
Wow.
Jide Alabi. Yo, I'm shy. I'm still shake. I'm still nervous. Standing before people. But yeah.
But I want to ask, because for me, let's look at it internationally. That boy that did Home Alone.
Yes.
Yeah,
became
Macaulay
like a
Culkin.
destitute.
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yes,
Macaulay
Culkins.
Culkin. And he became a destitute on the street. And a lot of them, if we look at the Michael Jacksons of this world, they say that it was because their childhood was taken from them.
Yeah.
Because the responsibility of being an actor on set
so
early,
Yeah.
it can put some kind of pressure.
Yes. So to be honest, you are very correct. And it's not even just peculiar to just internationally. You mentioned international. No. I've met people, I've seen things,
Yeah.
I remember before that, I used to mention to him all the time that, Daddy, I want to act. I want to be like you. I like the way I'm seeing you on TV.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, blah, blah, blah. And that opportunity came because I was just 7 years old. There was a long pause,
Yeah.
till when the opportunity again came through my dad. Same director, Mr. Tunji Bamishigbe, was about to start a series titled Kamsin and Neighbors.
Yes.
And
Kamsin and Neighbors.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they needed a 13-year-old. I was then 13. I was in JS3.
Okay.
To play a role, Nathaniel. And again, my dad, he's always at those tables where they are discussing the matter. See, in life, just pray that your person
is speaking for you.
Speaking for you, you know.
His name is being mentioned.
All right, guys, you're welcome to Say My Piece. You are all welcome. My name is Ogbolo, also known as Michael, but mostly referred to as Ogbolo. Why they feel proper? How they feel like a proper somebody. You're all welcome. Today, let me open the whole thing, so I know I'll give myself hype because, I'm not here alone, like she likes to talk. I'm not here alone. I'm here with somebody who always goes around with me. I've raised her in the way of the Lord. I've trained her properly, and today I made sure she came with her blonde hairstyle and, of course, very, very obvious spectacles. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-anchor, Lolo One of every. What's it be this thing when girls they do? What's it be this thing they do? What's it be this thing?
See. Every picture.
If you ask somebody to explain, no, if you explain. What if this? Even people will get big jaw. They go, what is this?
You just follow, honestly.
Nah, follow.
Welcome to Say My Piece today. You know that as we started laughing, it's going to be a great episode because we're going to laugh throughout.
Yeah.
Because our G's have been falling in, regularly these days.
Yeah.
Yes. So my name is Omotunde Adeboale David, but you all call me Lolo. As my father in the Lord has already said, I have been tutored in the way of the Lord.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Hallelujah. All right, so today we have a guest in the house. Not be just guest, he's our brother, he's our friend, he's our colleague, And he's not just, of course, he's a Nollywood actor. But one way or the other, he don't reach to call veteran because he was his child star. And he's someone I deeply appreciate. He's a hardworking fellow, someone who is very humble but very talented. He's not just an actor, he's a director, he's a producer, he's Gbogbo, more adjectives.
Podcaster.
Yeah.
Fake dancer. Content creator.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tobi Makinde.
What's going on?
AKA Tinini.
Everybody is on the. Or maybe with the user hide our double chin. Tubs, welcome.
What up?
Tinini.
Yeah, so Tinini. I did you.
But let's even go. Do you know that because people call you Timini and the real Timini,
Yeah.
has there ever been a clash where people think this is this person or that is that person?
Absolutely. So a lot of people, feel like Timini is my real name.
Yes.
And then they mistake me for the real Timini.
Yes.
So sometimes when they see me, it's a lot of confusion. So they'll be like, no, but Timini Egusin is the one in Jennifer's Diary now. And this is it. And they're like, And then again, I've heard a lot of times that we look alike. I don't know how true that is.
Well,
maybe on
well.
maybe
not heads shape.
Maybe.
Even head shape. And a lot of things they are not look alike.
Well, one
Lady killer. Are you a lady killer?
Well, I don't know.
That one
He has
behavior.
that bad boy vibes.
Yeah.
But I don't see Tobi in that bad boy
I'm
vibe.
a good boy.
Most of the time, his area boy just comes through. It peeks through.
It pops.
Pops. Oh boy, street too. It's very demure.
So a lot of times, people confuse me for the real Timini. And I have to correct and say, oh, my name is Tobi Makinde. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that happens.
I see. I wanted to just.
You're welcome,
I just want
man.
to put it out there because it's been a question.
No, of course. I mean, people will have that same question as well because of me too. I think I'm sometimes like don't you they get that thing sometimes.
They happen.
Yeah.
All the time.
You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's jump into it. So you've been a child actor. This is something some people don't know. I watched you many years back as a child actor. And that time, many of us have not even gotten into Nollywood, and you've been on that journey.
Yeah.
How has it been for you first? Let's just even start from there. The journey, in the acting business. How's it been?
Well, it's been how would I say? It's not been straightforward because and the reason why I said that is because the very first time I acted in front of the camera, I was 7 years old.
Heavy.
Yes, I was 7
I
years
can
old.
remember.
Yeah.
That time. I can remember Tobi's face as a child.
So
What's
small.
film or what's that?
Yeah, it was titled Silenced, produced by Ralph Nwadike, directed by Mr. Tunji Bamishigbe. Yes, and it had all the veterans back in the days: Bob Manuel Udoku, Tony Omes, Femi Brainerd, Funsho Adeolu, Jide Alabi, like lots of stars.
We need to sing for you.
You know what?
It's how the legends are made.
That's why I said he's supposed to reach veteran. Yes, because he's been here. You get, and you've seen things.
Yeah, I've met people, I've seen things, and I remember that, I remember the experience. Before that, my dad is an actor, and that's how I got into acting.
Okay.
So I remember before that, I used to mention to him all the time that, Daddy, I want to act. I want to be like you. I like the way I'm seeing you on TV.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, blah, blah, blah. And that opportunity came. He was the location manager of that film set.
Okay.
And they needed a young boy to play village boy. And he said, my son.
Yeah.
And he just came home to pick me. I thought it was a joke because my dad is a very goofy, very funny man.
Okay.
I thought it was a joke until I reached set, can't they see all these stars?
Yeah.
I can remember shaking like, hey! All I had to say was, that is the house.
Finish.
That's the line. It took me like 8 takes. That's why my mouth is shake. So I remember that moment. But you see, after that, because I was just 7 years old, there was a long pause.
Yeah.
Till when the opportunity again came through my dad. Same director, Mr. Tunji Bamishigbe, was about to start a series titled Kamsin and Neighbors.
Yes. Kamsin and Neighbors.
Yes. And they needed a 13-year-old. I was then 13. I was in JS3.
Okay.
To play a role, Nathaniel. And again, my dad, he's always at those tables where they are discussing the matter. See, in life, just pray that your person
is speaking for you.
Speaking for you, you know.
Name is being mentioned.
And so my dad was there. Big shout out to my dad, because all step of the way he's been the one guiding me, you know. And I remember that he came and said, Tobi, I've got you. This one is a big one. I'm like, He said, this one, you are going to be there for months. Blah. And then
at 13.
At age 13.
This is you just becoming a teenager.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was no technology. It wasn't like really the digital era. So we used to go to the office to collect our scripts, and it was this big 13 episodes, big script. And I remember collecting, and in my head, I'm like, hey, I remember the one where I do when I did 7, when I say that is the out. But my dad kept pushing me that, no, you can't do it. So, I mean, obviously, after that experience, when I was 7 years old, in school, in church, I was now actively taking part in drama and all of that. So when this opportunity came, my dad was like, you can do it. I'm like, yo, those church things. This now camera now, go there with stars. And, he just puts that confidence in me. And I remember, back in that time, the entire 13 episodes, I would learn all my lines before I even get to set.
Wow.
All the scenes in my head. Now I was still young.
Now, head sharp.
Head sharp.
Yeah.
I remember that we'll get on set and they say episode something, scene something. I'll be like, what episode? No, they can just say scene something. I'll be like, what episode? They will say the something. They say the title of the episode, maybe the man eater, just for example. And I'll be like, oh, okay, oh yeah, I know that scene where I did this and I know my lines. I know my lines. I feel like all those I feel like all those ITK I too know, but in to be honest, I actually did know my lines because my dad will rehearse with me every scene. I will act it out at home, in front of the mirror. He'll tell me, I'm going to work now. So this episode, when I come back, he'll come and show me, and then he comes back from work and I'll act every scene out. So I remember that's the training I had.
You had,
Even before I got into the university to now go and study theaters, my dad was already, grounding me. Yes.
I wanted to ask you, because you've been working since you were 7, while some of us were still hibernating. Are you trying to say that you have been rich from the very beginning? Like all those monies.
Well,
how did you?
So, I mean, because I was still very young, I remember it's my mommy that used to keep money for me. That they say, bring it, I'll keep it for you. When you need this, ask for it. All those money, boys meal. So I won't say that I've always been rich. I'll just say that I've always been popular. As much as, as much as I say it all the time, people don't believe I'm a very shy person.
You are, we know.
Yeah, but because I was already on TV early, my teachers, people in church, they didn't believe I was shy. So they would always want to give me a responsibility. Like, come and do this, come and anchor this, come and talk in church, come and read memory verse. I'm like, yo, I'm shy. I still shake. I'm still nervous, standing before people, But yeah.
But I want to ask, because for me, let's look at it internationally. A lot of child stars, they never do well in their future, in their adult life.
Yes.
That boy that did Home Alone.
Yes.
Yeah,
became
Macaulay
like a destitute.
Culkin.
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yes,
Macaulay
Culkins.
Culkin. And he became a destitute on the street. And a lot of them, if we look at the Michael Jacksons of this world, they say that it was because...
Bless you.
Sorry. They'll say it's because their childhood was taken from them.
Yeah.
Because the responsibility of being an actor on set
so
early, it can put some kind of pressure.
Yes.
You are before people, so that pressure to perform, that pressure to conform, to be what people want.
Yes.
What was your own experience? At least I know that you have grown up well. I didn't see you on the streets. You know,
we know see for bus stop the fagbo.
the fagbo, the jet. But tell me, what's happened that Tobi Makinde is still the same?
So to be honest, you are very correct, and it's not even just peculiar to just internationally. You know, you mentioned international. No, when you're a child actor, it's difficult all over the world to transition to, you know, being an adult actor. It's very difficult. Very difficult. My co-star back in the days on Kamsin and Neighbors, she doesn't act anymore. She was such a fantastic actor. In fact, at the time when we started, I believed that she floored me. Like, you know, there's something about child actors. Again, I read somewhere that when you place two child actors together, one male, one female, the female is always better. To be honest, I feel like that was my case. She was so good. She's somebody that I
trying to remember her name.
Yeah.
But I remember she was very good.
Loretta.
Yes. She was very good.
She was very good. She was a natural.
Yes.
Her mom too was a stage actor. She still is. You know, she was so good. And I saw a future. I saw a bright future in that. Like, I mean, as much as people were talking about me that, oh, you two, you are good. I knew that she was good. But now she doesn't act anymore. Not because she can't, but, you know, there's something about transitioning. You know, when the way no pave, you just find out that you're diversifying and doing other things. You know, she's a big entrepreneur now. She no longer stays in Nigeria, you know, and stuff. So generally, being a child actor, transitioning is very hard. You know, for me, it was also very hard because I remember after the show ended, so the show ended while I was still in the university, I think 200 or 300 level, I can't remember, you know. So it ended abruptly and I'm like, okay, so what next? In my head, I felt like, well everybody knows me. Everybody knows me. They show, you know, that's why, again, when, I mean, we're still going to get to that point, but when I hear Auntie Funke Akindele's story, I resonate with it because, you know, she said she has mentioned somewhere that, you know, after I need to know, you
what
will
next?
feel like, you feel like, moving on.
Find me.
You're going up there. But guess what?
Life will life you.
I went right back down. Like to the bottom of
scratch.
I'm telling you. And it felt like, and it was worse for me because, like you said, there was now the pressure to perform, to see me do more things, but the opportunity wasn't coming. Now, okay, if the opportunity no come, I decided, let me go and start attending auditions. I started attending auditions.
And that's also difficult.
It's also
because
difficult
you already have a face.
I was already a star. So people...
Some will not expect you to be there.
I'm telling you, recently, myself and Staninze, we were on a set, and he was telling me how much he remembers me at the auditions. And he used to say to himself that, what's this boy coming to do here? And I stand, and they already know him. You know, and in my head, I'm like, so I was going through that. You know, the pressure was mad, you know, because I was already known. So a lot of times I get asked that, why are you coming to audition? Like, Baba, don't worry. Don't worry, you don't get the role, you don't get the role. A lot of times I hear that, guess what? I will not get
I'm an actor myself, but do you know the irony of it? I have never been called back from any audition I've ever done.
Wow.
Never been.
Wow.
We'll get back to you.
Funny thing,
We'll get back to you. Just go home.
You know how when they see you there, it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And you know the funny thing, you will do so well at those auditions. They will even tell you that you did well. They will tell you that I love it. They will clap for you. They will laugh. But guess what? They won't call you back. So now, a lot of times that hurts me. But guess what? You know, in hindsight now, I look at it and it now occurred to me that all those times, it wasn't like I wasn't good enough, but I just didn't fit into the role, maybe physically, you know, because again, remember, I was transitioning from being a child actor. So it was hard to make it believable that I can play one adult role. And I never get beards. All those university times, I don't get beards. And so it was difficult, like...
Yeah.
I beg.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're not giving the energy. It's not like you weren't acting well, but
Yeah.
you just couldn't fit into what they needed.
Exactly.
You know, so it was very difficult. But, you know, I kept on doing it. At some point, you know, I finished school, I served, and then from
It took that
2012.
long to
Yes.
finish school
Yes.
and
Serve.
Now listen, from 2012 to 2015, you see that window?
3 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
That window, nothing was happening for me acting wise. I was going to auditions, I was not getting roles. I almost gave up. I decided that okay, let me go and take up a teaching job. Now see what I'm saying about, you know, it's being difficult.
Yeah.
I went back to teaching in secondary school where I graduated from.
Oh.
I'm telling you. And some of
Hey.
it's so funny.
Hey.
Some of
that used
your
to watch you.
Adugo children that respect you a lot, that
Yes.
see you high up there.
You not come.
Star. I can't teach them English and literature.
ó ti wá lọ padà worst by.
You know?
So, all right, students,
You know?
actor.
Me when they bath up before, I got the wear shirt and trouser. You know? I'm not saying it's bad, but like, you know, it had a look on me. And some people, you know, so I could see it in people's faces that
The disappointment.
yeah, like, that's why you don't bad
disappointing,
for you. You know, the ones that were bold enough actually came to me and said, Tobi, you don't
Why
need
you know
to
they
teach
ask
now.
me?
You know, act again. You know, it was a,
And
I
that's
don't know
what
whether to call it a depressing period for me. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I sure sucked it all in my head. Even though I was teaching then, I knew that that's not my final destination.
Yeah, it's just it's a place, a bus
So
stop.
guess what? You know, God has a way of just arranging things. While I was teaching there, I taught for like a year. And while I was teaching, again, I understood why God took me there. Because I now saw that, okay, it looks like I actually enjoy impacting knowledge. Like, you know, teaching.
yeah.
And beyond that,
Yeah.
you know, they always come to ask for advice. Because I'm an actor, they be
Yeah.
like, I want to be like you, you know. I'll give them advice and all of that. So I was beginning to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then again, it struck me that, okay, maybe I should advance this course. Even if I'm not acting. But I can still be in the industry and be on the teaching side.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what prompted me. I said, okay, let me go and do my master's degree.
Okay.
And then I went back to Unilag. I went to do my master's degree. While I was doing it was when, you know, an audition notice came. And my friend was encouraging me that I should go. In my head, I'm like, yo, if you know the number of auditions I've attended, you know, go tell me, say, you see, no, now just give it a try. Okay, which audition is it? Sorry. Lo and behold, it's Funke Akindele's audition. And and I look at it, I'm like, yo, no, I can't do this. Of course, I've been to a lot of auditions.
Yeah.
I remember Return of Jennifer, which she even filmed some parts in Unilag.
Okay.
I went for the audition.
And she went to
wasn't
Unilag
picked.
too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I wasn't picked. And then they came to film some parts in Unilag, and I was there.
Watching them
I
like
was
this.
there watching them, you know, seeing the extras, and I'm like, I remember her walking by me, like she walked past me. You know, Auntie, she's always agile.
Ginger.
She just walked past me, very brief. I know before I could say Jack Robinson, she don't go. And I remember saying to myself that
One day.
this woman one day.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how soon it was gonna be. You know, so I was doing my master's degree. Yeah, so I got the audition notice from Makinde, and I'm like, okay, this will be the last audition I will ever attend.
And heaven listened.
If anybody for industry no say to Makinde Sabi ask, may they give me a role. May they forget about town. Maybe I go the lecture from there. They go remember. Say, that kid
get one
just
guy.
giving me a role. You know, that's how I thought about it then. And because I already knew lots of people in the industry. I started as a child actor.
Yeah.
I knew crew members. I knew directors. I've met people.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, why am I not getting roles?
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I went for that audition. It was an audition for Indoor Street.
Okay.
Yes.
And this time we had already started Jennifer's
Jennifer's
Diary.
Of course,
Diary.
Jennifer's
We
Diary.
had started.
had
Because I remember
blown
Tini
sense.
came later.
Yes, you know.
Yes.
So I auditioned for the role. I remember Auntie has always been very intentional about her casting.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
remember after the audition and everything, the judges had already asked me to go. That we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
You know that
regular.
usual.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. I remember I was almost walking out the door and she just quickly blocked me. I said, "Hey, wait, have you auditioned?" I said, "Yes, ma, I just auditioned." Okay. Shadi, I don't know. I think that was a PA back in the. Bring that notebook. There was a special notebook where she was writing
Some
people,
people. Yeah.
you know, that she had handpicked.
Taken note
Even
of.
though the judges were already
They had their own
dismissing
bias.
some, she was writing the names of some people, and you know, she put my name in that notebook. I'm like, thank God. Though. I remember before the audition, because I had known Mr. Peter.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
our
Yeah.
production
Our
manager,
production manager.
way before then.
Before then.
As a matter of fact, he's the one who had invited me for the audition back
Okay.
then. Yeah,
Okay.
the Return of Jennifer audition. So I'd already known him. So I remember, because I'm usually an early comer at auditions. I always come early. So I remember him already giving me the responsibility of writing names.
Okay.
So people even thought that I was
You were
already
part
working
of the whole.
with
Yeah.
Madame Funke already.
Yeah.
So in fact, when I got the role miraculously, they felt like it's because he knew.
Yeah.
You know, she say the right names for
Okay.
this or that day. But that wasn't the case. I was just doing my thing.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
a miracle that I actually got that role.
Because some people would have not even done that.
Yes.
There are people who would have not done that.
Yeah.
And this thing with transition in there, I hear people sometimes when people try to, for example, for some of us who were, you know, on Jennifer's Diary, for example, if some people are not seeing you on some major movies,
Yeah.
there's one of us who is an actor
Yeah.
on that particular series. I saw the comment somebody left on their page when they posted the picture. And the person wrote, Ogoano.
Ha.
Jesus.
You understand? For those who don't understand, I'm not a Yoruba boy. I know that thing. That
you know that.
yesterday's glory. Like say your glory don't pass, you know?
Wow.
And for some reason, in my mind, I'm like, who gave you the authority
Yeah, to say that.
to say this
Say that
about
to
somebody?
someone.
Because some people don't understand
The
what it is.
gravity, yeah.
When you're transiting from one to the other, sometimes people are not ready to receive you as
Yes.
somebody
Yes.
new.
Yes.
They want to remain on who you were as a child actor.
Yes.
They don't want to receive you as a new person.
new
Just like a
person.
Wizkid, for example. When
Yeah.
when they say he should change his name to Wizzy one time, you know, go green work.
no work.
Everybody's like you must be Wizkid.
Wizkid.
You will Wizkid till you die. Sometimes the audience is not ready to receive it.
Yes.
Transitioned
Yes.
you
Very
just yet. So for people where they watch, you don't know the struggles some actors, not just actors, entertainers generally, what they go through sometimes. So people need to really, really mellow.
You know.
And you know, touching on that too, even internationally, you see the likes of actors who have been in like comedy series.
Yeah.
It's really hard transitioning to like movies,
Major movies, yes.
Except probably they are doing their thing. For instance, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
You know, for the longest time, we knew him as a comedian.
Yes.
Until he started making his own films where he's playing something different.
Yeah.
You know?
So he had to put in action and comedy.
Yeah.
And he could do that action
Yeah.
thing to show people, okay, aside just being a
Exactly.
goof person, a goofy guy, I can also do action.
Yeah.
But people refuse to receive him as an
Accept
action
him,
figure
yeah.
until he started doing his own thing.
You know, I just want to ask Tobi, this thing, because you guys are bordering on it, on stereotyping.
Yeah.
Is stereotyping the actor's fault or the audience's fault? Because I've seen you play some roles
Yeah.
and you kill it.
Yes.
It's as if the roles you killed is now your problem.
Mm.
Like when you play
'Cause it
Shinene,
looks
everybody
like
have
they're
not
stuck
seen
there.
you play Raz area boy.
Yeah.
And they are just stuck on that.
On that, yeah.
So even when people are writing or when people are calling you for work,
Yeah.
they keep you on that
Yeah.
trajectory.
Yeah.
They forget, oh, Tobi has done this, she
Yeah.
has done that.
Yeah.
So is it that every time an actor gives their A best, it's just like that boy that was in one of these series
Yeah.
that used to do his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Ajibola,
yes.
he's a friend of
Yes.
mine.
Yeah.
Yes,
My guy.
Bola.
Yeah, Spiff.
Yeah.
Spiff. Yeah.
That he had to leave the series
Yes.
because he couldn't just transition
Yes.
into something
else.
Yeah.
It's happened for me too that
Yeah.
even when Adaku goes for other things, I've done a bank advert that is a corporate advert that had nothing to do with food.
Yeah.
They still wanted to place food in front of me.
Yeah, it's like me. My own.
James,
Yeah.
everybody wants
They
you
have
to
written
play
more than how many scripts to me.
Oh.
They want me to play effeminate.
effeminate character.
Yeah.
So is it that the actors have killed the role too much that maybe you should give mediocre playing so that people can give you opportunity to do other things? Say, you know, Kuku good as gay person. Let's try him as farmer.
Yeah.
If you know good, okay, maybe make it do gatesman. Because I found out that it always happens to excellent actors.
Yes,
Yes.
actually.
So what is the problem?
I would say that it is never the actor's fault. The actor has a duty to kill whatever role
Was been
he or
given.
she is given. Do you get? That's the actor's responsibility to be truthful to whatever character that he's given. So I feel like it's some producers' fault. So I feel like producers are the ones who need to see the actor as a wholesome entity who can perform in whatever capacity, and not just stereotype them to a character that they've seen you play and they feel
they
like
killed
that's
it.
what you can play.
Yeah.
Because and to some extent I also understand their plight. The Nigerian market is really hard to please because the audience sees you in a particular role.
Yeah.
That's what the audience yearns for
Yeah.
all the time. They
Yeah.
want to always see that. So producers need to now decide if they want to do a film for commercial purpose or they want to do a film because they want to make a work of art. There's art for art's sake and
Yeah.
there's art for life's sake.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So do you want to actually do a work of art where people will love
Appreciate your creativity,
the craft,
the craft, yes.
art of it, or you just want to do a commercial
Money.
film and you want to give the audience what they want to see?
Because this was a problem back in the day when Nollywood.
Yes.
All the at that time this,
Sophia in London.
yeah. This was when all the Igbo boys were the ones that were in
Yes.
charge. So they
You
want
know?
to see Ramsey Noah inside this film.
Love
Ramsey Noah will do brother with Genevieve in this
You
movie.
know?
The next movie, Ramsey Noah is doing boyfriend to Genevieve. Another one, Ramsey Noah is doing
Kanayo.
elder brother to Genevieve.
Yeah.
It was a problem.
Kanayo,
Stereotyping.
even in our Yoruba movie industry as well.
Some people were they would be gatesman till they died.
Some would do
You get-
Babalawo for all the
all
movies in
the
this life.
movies.
See, they
You
will just
get-
say you be Babalawo for this
Yes.
life.
You can't do a gatesman, you kill it. You can never play a
You
rich
can't.
man
You
ever
can't.
Yes.
again.
You can't.
Never.
If you collect that Gatesman
You know?
role,
You know?
Baba, you are in trouble.
So that's the thing. So I feel like it's the configuration of the Nigerian audience and producers also wanting to make money. To make commercial films, give the audience what they want.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but I feel like as an actor, it now depends on what you want for yourself. Some people are comfortable with playing the same character because of course it makes them money. Do you understand? Some they get even compare. They get to compare events based off of a character that the audience loves, and that's what people want to do. So they make money off it, and that's fine. But as an actor, if you want the audience to see you in a different light as somebody that can play different characters and kill it regardless, it is now up to you to choose the roles that you play.
Yeah.
When producers come to you, you either choose to accept or reject it.
Yeah.
I had a conversation. So that's the thing. It depends on what you want as an actor. I had a conversation with a fellow actor like me that mentioned to me, he's also a content creator. So, he does skits and people love his skits and they want him to play
That
the character
character.
in the movies. He specifically rejects it because he said he believes that his platform alone is enough for you to see him in that character. So if he has to play a cinema movie, a big project, see me in another character.
Yeah.
And because he has a theater background,
Yes.
it even makes it more hard for him to just be stuck on one character.
Exactly.
He's a thespian. He wants
Yeah.
you to see him as an actor who can play different roles.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm glad he has successfully proven that,
Because
to a certain extent.
for some of us who do theater,
Yeah.
it's like you said, you want people to also see how diverse you can become as as an actor.
Yes.
You don't want to be stuck in that place.
Yes.
Like I had to fight that thing.
Yeah.
I rejected almost, if not more than 30 scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a month I got almost 7 different scripts. They all wanted me. Two wanted me to play gay. I had to call Funke Akindele and say, what do you think? And they say, no, take camo.
Yeah.
But if the money is good, you get. At the end of the day, it just, like you said, sometimes the audience too needs to also adjust. People need to be open-minded enough to see people in different. See Jim Ike, for example. People just thought, see this one, bad boy till you finish.
That's it.
Bad boy. I know they do anything else.
I saw Timini.
Yeah.
He played one epic movie one time. From my eye, like, no, that's what I'm saying. That yes, the audience. I'm part of the audience as well. We also need to give people, chance. You understand? Another thing people don't also know is that for people who do series, who act in series movies, it's usually difficult for them to not like difficult in terms of their ability to act, but to get jobs. Yeah. Some of those producers who do actual movies don't give them the opportunities. And I don't know where that issue really comes from.
It's the way Nollywood is configured.
If you see most people on Teen Cell, for example, you hardly see them in major movies.
Yeah. I think it's the way Nollywood
or is it the availability
configured.
of the actors? Because some of these series take a lot of your time.
It's almost like a 9-to-5 job.
Yes, and many of them just assume that you don't have time.
Yeah, so there's that factor, but there's also the factor of how Nollywood is configured.
Yeah.
We try to compartmentalize our actors. So you hear people in the industry say, so these are YouTube actors. So these are cinema actors. So these are series actors.
Yes.
These are Yoruba actors. No, actors are actors.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, you won't hear that. You will see someone fresh out of a series will play, Terminator. There's what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has a series. I've forgotten the title. It's on Netflix.
His daughter.
A new season.
I've seen it, but I've not opened it.
So they have that freedom to be in whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Prison Break doesn't mean I won't be in the next Avengers.
Yeah.
Or, so I think it's just how we've configured Nollywood. We try to separate that these are, actors are actors. There was a time I saw someone post up something and say, you these YouTube actors. And I saw Timini say that, look, there's no such thing as YouTube actors. I am an actor. I am an actor. That's
Period.
So I think we need to sensitize ourselves and change that mindset and just believe that actors are actors.
And give opportunities. Yeah.
When we're talking acting, sometimes people feel like acting is graded. Oh, these are grade A actors.
Yeah.
These are grade B actors.
Yeah.
These are grade A plus actors.
Yeah.
These are grade B actors. And to break into those cliches or those circles is a bit difficult.
Yeah.
No matter how good an actor is, I just found out that sometimes there's a limit on you.
Yeah.
No matter what you do,
you
can, except you have been privileged to work closely with these people.
Yeah.
So how do you expect actors to get by? Is it that, now when I say, even like me, this year I know how many films I've done. I can count, and when I did Everybody Loves Jennifer, highest grossing supporting actor.
Yeah.
I thought by now.
You feel like,
in fact, last year I built a boat that I would be rowing like this and my money in our water. And it hasn't been my experience.
Yeah.
In fact, I've hardly gotten any roles.
Yeah.
So what is it that actors need to do?
Yeah.
Because now it seems that everybody will say, you need to know these producers.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't even know what is happening until the film is out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's structure in the industry to say that, if I go on this platform, every single audition, every single producer, I can see, I know what they are up
platform
to. But if I'm not I've been trying very hard to work for somebody like a Bolale Austin Peters. Every time Auntie Bab sees me, she say, hello, I don't know, it just doesn't come to mind. Oh, collect, I know she's not like she doesn't want to give me role.
Yeah, but
I can't be before her all the time.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to be before her is not there.
It's not
Kemi
there.
Adetiba the same. I thought I was going to get a role in
King of Boys.
King of Boys. She had even seen me and said, "Oh Lord, don't worry, call me." And it just doesn't translate to anything.
Anything.
So what are we to do?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people watching you now do not believe that any actor has such struggles.
Yes. They
They
just think
believe
that
that,
yeah.
everybody loves
the
Jennifer.
actor
The
that
next
money
thing.
day,
Blown.
Yeah.
Blown.
So how are we supposed to appeal? Are you supposed to know every single producer and be going to their DMs and, say,
And kiss
"Please,
us.
I'm an actor.
Lobby.
Please, I'm an actor." Hey, but even sometimes if you do lobby, it still doesn't come through.
That's what I'm saying now. But some people,
I have done that.
Some people have to kiss ass.
Actually.
They literally have to. But by any small rep where you get,
Yeah. You go
You go
drop
tarnish
her.
her.
So, and some people, you can't do that. You understand? So, it's... Look,
Yeah. So I mean, for me, first of all, let me say the cause first. You know, waiting they cause this thing is the fact that producers, they need to define the kind of movies they are making and the audience they want. You know, there are some producers that do film for cinema, film for streaming, film for festivals, you know. Now, film for cinema, we already know it's commercial. You want to break even. You want to break that box office. So now I'm speaking from a producer's point of view because I've been on tables where we have to cast. And the only thing you are thinking is which actor has numbers. So
yes.
And it's so hard for someone like me because I'm that person that wants to give an actor a role because he can do it.
Talented.
Not for the numbers.
Yeah.
And I know so many talents that don't have these numbers we are looking for. But
Because-
I know that they will genuinely kill these roles.
it. Because there are some actors who are not social media crazy.
Yes.
They are not.
Yes.
I know some actors who are not in any
How many
way...
times does Idris Elba post? How many times does he do TikTok or whatever?
So most times, the ones who have these numbers, who are not even as talented as those who don't
Will
have
get
numbers,
the opportunity.
will get the opportunity.
You know, and so it pains me. But again, I understand the producer's point of view. He
Commercial
needs
stuff.
to sell.
Yeah.
You know, for festivals, you don't necessarily need those numbers because it's a festival. All you need to see is the performance. So I think that, first of all, is the cause. Now, for actors, what do we do? Personally, I feel like I've cracked it in my head. If you want to be seen, you are the only one that has the key to be seen.
Life.
That's how I have cracked it.
Yeah.
You are the only one who can make yourself be seen.
Yeah.
Our industry has passed that level where you have to know producers, you have to
And be dependent on them.
There's now literally a platform. There's like literally you and your audience they face each other like this.
Yeah.
There's no channel anymore.
Yeah.
This is you and there's your audience.
So you go ahead and create your stuff.
And that's why content creators are getting by. All they need to do is put their stuff on their social media.
Yeah.
Be consistent with it.
Yeah.
It goes viral.
Yeah.
They know them as actors.
Yeah.
The next thing, content creators, they go use them.
Yeah.
Pay big money for you know,
the same
big
producers
films.
will now go to the content creators, use them to now do the movie.
Promote. To use them to do the movie, use them to promote.
Yeah.
So as actors, where we don't already they do the acting now, you know, and all of that. I believe that don't wait for any producer.
Just go ahead to create your own stuff.
Do your own thing.
stuff.
And this also goes with, you know, the idea of stereotyping as well. I've cracked it.
Yeah.
Look,
that is where you can also
I'm
break
not,
it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
wait for you to give me these stereotype roles, play touts all the time, play this role. Blah. I want to play the roles. I would make movies where I will play.
I'll write my character like how I want it.
Character that I want. So I will force you
to accept
to
me
see me
in
the
other
light
lights.
that I want you to see me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's somebody that said treat people teach people how you want them to treat you.
Mm,
Yeah. So same goes with, you know,
I mean, with
actors.
social media today, You know, everybody, like you said, you have your, and this is one conversation I had with myself. And I didn't even know you were even thinking.
Yeah, Baba, I saw myself.
That is what made me start to write theater, my own plays on stage. You understand? I wanted people to see me in other ways. You get, see me, I played the old man at Baba Shop. I wrote that play to suit because there is more that I can do. Me playing one particular character that has made you see me in this light should be something that should make you see that, okay, this person can actually...
Versatile.
Yes, this person is versatile.
When I keep telling people that I haven't done the best character
that
in
you
my
would,
career just yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people just are afraid to put you in roles that are beyond what they think is your comfort zone. Of course, I'm willing to, and it's only people that can take a chance on you as an actor that can help you excel. I have seen Kehinde Bankole channel some wonderful roles, but if she wasn't given the opportunity,
that's it. You won't know that she won't do it.
She won't be able to do it. When you look at a Bimbo Ademoye, she comes across to you like a pretty girl. But do you know Bimbo has a comic side that is unbelievable? Aside her looks. And when you see a fine girl, you just see maybe sugar baby, toy baby, hookup girls. But she's humorous. So and it took somebody that was able to see her to be able to say, okay, yes.
The comic side of her, was it her own platform that she started to exhibit that, or on regular?
She are just everywhere. I've seen her play. Her comic side I've picked through.
Because I think that most of her comic side, I've seen it on her YouTube channel.
On her own, So she how would I put it? She defined it, but I think that she played some characters on Auntie Biodun Stevens films that really now made people know that she can do this, and then she herself now defined it more. Which is
with
what
the YouTube thing.
Which is what I think most of us need to do now. We need to define
our own
it to people that we can actually do more. For instance, that thing you said, I can resonate with it. I haven't played the roles that I would really love to play. Because you see that 2012 to 2014, I tell you, say, for a long time, nothing was happening to me. Do you know what I was doing all those periods? I was building myself. I have more than 30 characters where I don't play for front of my mirror. Where we say, I just wait, say, make the right producer, just give me this role. And that's why I've said this, in a few places. When I played Shinene in A Tribe Called Judah, I was ready for that role. Not because...
I knew it must have taken you a lot to bring that character to life.
And not because I just all of a sudden saw that script. I had always wanted to play that. So I've severally before my mirror in my house, I've done stuff like that, jokingly, So we have like a database of characters waiting, to just unleash. And if you don't get that opportunity in a place like Nigeria, it will just die for there.
So just go ahead and create.
So you have to create.
Like me, I like to foray into many things because a lot of people think Hollywood and Nollywood has so many layers. So what do you think about all this mysticism that surrounds our profession? There is no way you will go as an actor that they will not think you are doing juju. Or if you are not doing juju, they are doing juju against you. Somebody is throwing you arrow. Somebody is throwing you ota. And there's everybody just believes that entertainment, especially filming, has a lot of dark arts. That's
spiritual
connotations. Is it a figment of people's imagination, or is it a show and tell truly? Because people have given me things like, I went to shoot by a river, and the river goddess came, hold my throat. That day, I'll never forget. We shot a scene, and it was like a kidnap scene. I just saw myself like a kidnapper, and the spirit took me over. I don't know if is it that the play, the things that we portray? There's a way you can live in fantasy, that the fantasy translates to everything that you do and say. Are there reasons to believe that there are the dark arts in the entertainment or film industry, or it's just a figment of people's imagination? or their own projections?
So,
You know
Because you can't tell
that
me
line
you
that they
have
say
not had-
art imitates life.
Yeah.
To a large extent, there's also the spiritual aspect of this whole
Yeah.
thing. There is. And there are people who have gone neck deep a little. Not all of us they go audition. They just
no, man.
see,
Yeah,
the-
but it would be nice to hear
No?
Tobi's
Is that where you go?
angle. Because me, I like to hear people's angle.
Yeah.
Because if something, like me, when I was a presenter, even if I do not believe, I had some experiences that were a bit unnatural.
Yeah.
I'll be well in the morning, and by the time I got to the microphone, my voice will crack. I'll open the mic, I'll sit, my voice will crack.
Yeah.
I had to start to pray. I had to start to know that, hey,
I remember that, bless you.
Yeah.
There were times when you just want to open the mic that year. Because, of course, I was always behind you. And I was saying, you want to open the mic?
eh,
I'm feeling heavy.
Yeah.
Something is not right.
and I will begin to pray in tongues,
Yeah.
and I know. But some would cast it off as a figment of your imagination, that you're just projecting.
Yeah.
But has there been any experience that you've had that made you be like, aye, wow, nínú industry, because somebody had told me as an MC, he will hold the mic will not work.
Yeah. Yeah.
He will try, it will not work. That his job will scatter that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody in the industry told me that what he does is that when he comes, he just goes to give the sound engineer money.
JJ.
So tell me, have you...
So for me, I feel like there's some elements of truth in it. And to be honest, it's not just peculiar to film industry alone. I feel like every industry, every sector has, its own spiritual thing, going on. And for Christ's sakes, we're in Africa and we cannot say that, we don't believe in some African things. There are certain things that are true. We've seen them happen.
Yeah.
You talked about, getting to the studio sometimes and your voice just cracked. I've seen a situation where someone were on set, a DP, and he had to come tell me, he said, Tobi, pray for me. I don't know, something is happening. This is not correct. This is a DP, a top DP, like top DP. And for him to say that this hasn't happened to him before, then he means it, And he said he can't see that his vision is blurry. Like he's trying to focus and his vision is blurry, that it's not normal. It's not normal. Pray with me. So I believe that those things are true, So what I'll just say is, whatever you believe in spiritually that keeps you grounded, just stay right in it.
Right in
Yeah. Yeah. Hold it strong.
Carry your igbante.
Hold it strong, man. Hold it strong. If you are a Christian, hold your Christianity strong. If you are a Muslim, hold your Islam strong.
Yeah.
And traditional, if now what they do, hold them strong, because everybody comes with a backup. Everybody wants to win. And, of course, you cannot rule out the element of competition
And envy.
Envy.
There are people who are also envious of you.
Yeah.
All those things are real.
Yeah.
These are real things.
Yeah.
These are real emotions. People, I love healthy competition, but there are some actually unhealthy competitions where people
Toxic.
want to take you out because they feel like a certain position,
I deserve it more.
they deserve it more.
Yeah.
So those things are actually real. So I don't rule it out. It's real.
So, because I know we should round up very soon. Quickly, let's talk about mentorship now.
Okay.
Now, we know how well you've served Funke Akindele. For those who probably don't know, you have served under Funke. You've worked with and worked for Funke Akindele. And somehow, one way or the other, that has impacted you somehow. So let's quickly talk about how you started working for her, how that impacted you, and what you probably have to say to younger people who avoid mentorship. Yeah. So,
mentorship is important. Don't avoid it. So let me quickly tell the story. So, I mentioned that I attended an audition for Industries, and then I got the role after many back and forth. Me and one person, we struggled for the role. Me and another person struggled for the role. I almost didn't get the role because I couldn't play. I was supposed to play a music producer, you know, and I was supposed to be able to play an instrument, but I couldn't. But thank God for the acting. All the people where they bring this, I will play instruments, but they know acting. So acting can still come up. You know. So I remember that eventually I got the role, and you know, I remember that I was juggling back and forth from between school and set, school and set, and I was even already writing my project. So one of those times, remember again that I've attended auditions. I've been in the industry for a very long time, so I knew lots of her crew members. You know, from the DP to the production manager to a lot of people, grip. You know, I knew them, and I remember one time on set, they were just, you know how crew members would just begin to bant. And they were just saying it that, Auntie Funke, hey, Momo, like, don't you know this guy? You know, he's been a child actor, he's been acting since, this boy don't think he's very good, blah, 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 you know.
Because even Funke was a child actor too.
Do you get? That's why I say that, we had lots of similarities. You know, so, you know, they were telling her, and then fortunately for me, again, my dad had been on Jennifer's Diary set. Yeah, my dad was actually Soji's dad. That's Toyo baby's father-in-law. On Jennifer's Diary. So, you know, it was easy for them to now say, that man, this is his son. You know, this is his son. And then, I don't know if that's directly or indirectly sparked an interest in me. You know, but me, I was just on set doing my thing. And I remember one day, Auntie Funke just came to set, and you know, while I was acting and everything, she just said, "Do you have a job?" And I remember the question, it was very sudden to me. It just hit me. I didn't know how to answer. And I said, no, madam. I'm just doing my master's degree. Afterwards, I don't know what to do, which is true. After that, my master's degree, I didn't know what else was in life, my bro. I just did run out.
This life,
you know? In my head, I just believe, say, if I don't finish, maybe if anything no pure, maybe I will just quickly do PhD, just begin the lecture. At least that one, I sabi books more. So, you know, so I remember that she now said, so you don't do anything. I said, yes. And then she said, don't worry, I'll give you a job. Just like that. She said she would give me a job.
At that time, she was not this Funke.
She was not.
She was not this Funke. Yeah.
I'm like, what? You know, and then I started having like flashbacks. Remember that moment where I walked past her and I said I'll walk with her? I remember when I auditioned before her. So many scenarios just played in my head. Again, you know one funny thing? I forget to mention this in interviews. While I was on Kamsin and Neighbors, there's an award that Mr. Tunjiba Mishigbe used to champion. It's called Afro Hollywood Award. So I think they used to do it in the UK back then. There was one time that Auntie Funke was nominated for that award. And she had come to the house where we were filming Kamsin and Neighbors.
To your house?
Yes. To do like an interview that, hi guys, I'll be at Afro Hollywood Awards. In fact, that was the first time I saw her at age 13, 14. That's the first time. So all these memories all these memories just came back. This is a destiny moment, actually. Moment. Like, so I will eventually work with you. So in my head, I started praying towards it because maybe today we don't the year.
Yeah, promise.
I'll get back to you. You know, so I was praying that God, I beg, maybe she don't change her mind. Maybe she don't change her mind. You know, so I was, you know, waiting, and one day her call came, and you know, she asked me to resume it.
And so the work they start to.
As I joined. That's how one day her call came in. I'm like, finally, God, thank you. You know, and then she asked me to resume. And, you know, I remember resuming, you know, with no idea, no experience whatsoever in behind the scenes. You know, I was only acting
in front of the camera.
I wasn't doing anything behind the scenes.
So behind the scenes was a whole new experience.
It was a new experience for me, you know, and it started with her. with Auntie Funke, you know, and I remember her saying to me that, have you done production management before? I said, no, I haven't, but I can learn on the job because me, I don't go interviews where, you know, say I don't look for work.
Yeah.
You know that thing where you say, I can learn on the job.
Yeah.
I work under pressure.
Yeah. You don't learn that format.
So even though I couldn't do it or I haven't done it
You
before,
will say,
I said I can learn on the before, but I can learn on the job.
Yeah.
And I have experience with theater production, you know, stage management, all these things.
Yeah.
You know, we can link it somehow. So I remember, and that's how I started as a production manager. And it was a new season of Jennifer's Diary. And that's how I met James and Lolo, you know, and it was an amazing experience because I was enjoying it. At this point, I don't want to say I was tired of acting, but because I've heard so many no's. So in my head, this was like a new phase. So in my head, I was telling myself that maybe this is the new direction for me. Because, you know, back in days when you ask me, oh, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? I would mention that I want to be a director. How I will be a director, I don't sabi. How I will take reach there because I believe say far gone, you know, near, it's still far, you know. But taking the step of becoming a production manager made me feel like, okay, maybe I'm stepping in the right direction. Maybe this is, you know, the stepping stone. And I started off.
And then you started to learn every other thing because for some people don't know, you were one of the directors for Jennifer's Diary.
Yes.
People don't know.
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, you remember there was time we had one conversation and I said, Baba, see, I was not joking. I said, guy, they put on for social media saying they direct this thing.
Yes,
you understand? Because I realized that you were doing so much work, but in a way, it just be like, say, I know they see you, they talk, say, you they do this work. You understand?
And a lot of people didn't know as well.
Yeah, people didn't know. And it was one of the things I really did appreciate. And I could see the fact that Funke Akindele rubbed off on you a lot.
Yes.
She rubbed off on you in terms of all the work back, you know, and all of that. For time's sake,
ethic,
you know, for time's sake. So this issue of mentoring now for the younger ones who actually want to become actors, who want to work on production and all of that, where does it come into play and why is it important for them?
It is very important that you have someone to mentor you. It is one of the nuggets. It is one of the stepping stones to success. Because when you have someone who has experience some sort of success to a certain level,
gone on a journey.
In the industry, when you work with or under such people and you hear their story, it inspires you and it makes you know that you are on the right track. Because sometimes we're just doing a lot of things. We don't know whether you're just doing it for the moment. So when you work with such people, when such people mentor you, it just makes you know that, okay, so there was a phase. I remember a lot of times when I hear Auntie Funke's stories, you know, because we'll just be gisting and she randomly say some stories. It makes you just remember that, oh, so you went through
this too.
Oh, so you did that. You know, sometimes she tell me that, oh, she was personal costume manager for some actors. I think Auntie Buki, right? She will mention some big names. I'll be like, oh, so you served those people too. So in my head, I'm like, so I'm doing the right thing, serving, you know, you as well, or serving under you. So mentorship is very important. Now, when I became a production manager, I rose through the ranks. So
what you will have normally, but because of mentorship, it was able to help you go through.
From production management, I will put eyes on this one. I'll be doing this. I'll do script supervision. I'll do camp management. I'll do so many things. AD. You know, till I did producing, you know, for lots of...
at some point, did you even do production manager? Because
production manager.
By the time you'll be the one calling us. James, where on our day?
How far you don't get close? I beg. We need to start shooting. You know? So, it was easy to now navigate all this because I knew that, okay, there's something to learn. And I was learning. It was because, like you said, her work ethic, everything rubs off on me.
You can't work with her and not learn.
except they
out
curse you.
there, when I walk with other people, I see how they walk, and in my head I'm like, yo, you don't do like this. Everybody, you have to be on your 10 toes.
When the hand will train you.
understand?
You know, go mess up for outside. No.
So excellence is always Auntie's goal.
Yeah.
She's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And excellence, now she the reason.
Normal.
Like no room for flaws and everything. Then the discipline as well.
Yeah.
It rubs off because now waiting don't rock her boat till this very moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
And so if it works for her, then that means she's doing something
Right. Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, you see all these things, discipline, hard work, striving for excellence. These are like major things that you shouldn't, play with.
Yeah.
So her mentorship is what gave me all these values to hold on to.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do don't worry, very soon, Tobi Makinde Productions, you'll see my film.
Yeah, we're seeing your Tobi Makinde show right
Yeah.
now, and I can already see all of the things that you've learned. We had this discussion some time back as well, and I can see you already putting them into, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Guys, if we go there 2 hours.
Because
plenty. Honestly, if you don't get inspired by Say My Piece, sometimes I'm wondering what you really want to hear. Because people are sharing their stories, from the very beginning, so that you're not just seeing the finished product.
Yeah.
You want to know how they rose through the ranks. You want to know their basic challenges that is common to every human. Many of you will slide into our DMs. I want to become an actor. I want to do this. I want to that. This is the story.
Yes,
you heard it from Tobi today, and you can be sure that sometimes the road you walk is not always easy.
Yes.
Yes, so I've walked everything myself, and I know how hard it can be.
Yeah.
But if you have a mentor who is holding your hand, trust me, there are some potholes you don't need to fall into.
Yeah.
You might have new challenges and learn from new ones. But you see, the ones they have surmounted, it makes sense for you to just escape those ones.
Yeah.
first,
You
that
don't have to
can
suffer
be
what they've suffered.
on your way. But I find that a lot of people just mouth, "Oh, I want you to be my mentor," and I'm like,
they're not ready to go
"Can you
through.
do?" Even my PA sometimes I'll look at her.
Yeah.
Do you really understand what this job is about?
Yeah.
If you are working closely with somebody, you are like their shadow.
Yeah.
If I'm shouting and screaming, you are the one that can take it.
Yes.
Because that is your job.
Yeah.
You are to take it.
Yes.
But a lot of young people, any small thing, mental health. My mental health.
Yeah, I feel like
My
a lot.
mental
Of,
health.
I feel like a lot of young people don't have the patience to
Nah.
go through mentorship because it takes patience.
Yeah.
That patience, perseverance, and humility.
Ah.
You see that humility? Now that one they miss fast.
Yes.
Because a lot of them have pride now. They feel
Ah.
like, oh, no, I
Can you
shouldn't be
even talk to
shouted on.
them?
I shouldn't be corrected.
Yeah.
But, those corrections go a long way in shaping your journey.
Why did she or he talk to me like this?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? All of us are excellent actors. I tell people anywhere I stand, I say, see, the character Adaku, there's nothing I can take glory for except delivery.
Yeah.
Everything was fed to me.
Yes.
So when Fuke is doing something,
Yeah.
she has already envisioned
She has
it.
the vision.
She knows where she wants her to
Yes.
go. I never created the eating. I never created the eating style.
Yeah.
I didn't created Abdaku's sloppiness. She put it together.
Yeah.
Say Lolo. Sometimes she even feeds us the
Lines.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way we're gonna say it that will make it
Funny.
Say, Lolo,
Yeah.
be nice. Do it like this.
Yeah.
And when you follow.
Well,
I don't be mama. When I don't be mama, I didn't think it. He was so gonna say, when the thieves come, just shout. When I don't be mama. And of course, when she feeds it to you, your own personal creativity will now drive it
Yeah,
forward.
of course.
And that's why you see a lot of us, speak highly of her. I always tell people I don't celebrate her just because she's my friend.
Yeah.
That is excellence
She's an
personified.
amazing, yes. Yes.
You can hate any other thing.
Yeah.
But see the work.
Yeah.
You see the work.
She knows
My
her
sister
onions.
sabi.
Yeah.
She knows her
She's
onions.
sabi.
Yeah. She's a walking master class.
La Funky.
Lavuki.
Yes, so-
Right, sir. Maybe you
Swiley.
come on our podcast.
Swiley.
Help us.
Yes.
No, she go sick off. She go sick
come,
off.
she
She
go
go sick
come.
off.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Tobi Makinde. We love you
you
so
very
much.
Maggi.
You know that we are together.
Yeah.
you,
Yes, but for all of you that watched Say My Piece today, please say your piece to us. Let us know what you think about some of these our stories. You have heard it in different ways, and I know that it resonates with you differently. We're always available to hear. Ogbolo is here. Say My Piece podcast. You can DM us. Tobi Makinde is there, I'm there. Talk to us. Let us rub minds. There are some things you might disagree. Oh, mentorship, rubbish. You guys use us anyhow. You affect my mental health. You shout. Who knows what my PA will say? But that's all the time we have on Say My Piece today. So we'll see you the next time. Please stay working hard.